Hey, my name's Steve, and in this video, we're going to have some fun, but I'm also going to share some real powerful ways on how positive and negative thoughts are affecting others. Okay, I got a fun shirt on today, and I'm going to start by saying that some of you, and I know this because I've had this experience, is that you're having negative thoughts about someone and trying to create a positive expectation or expecting a positive result. Okay, so you're having negative thoughts, but you're expecting a positive result. Let me give you an example. You despise the person that you work with, the person who's your supervisor, but you're expecting a better job and better conditions, but you despise that person, right? You're getting negative thoughts and feelings about the person who is your supervisor, but you're expecting a better job. Okay, and that's just one example, but um, the point is that we do this all the time. We have negative thoughts and feelings, and then we expect something positive. And in this video, I want to explain how to align yourself so that everything's aligned, so that you get better expectations that are more in alignment with the thoughts and the feelings that you're having. Okay, so first, let me just explain a couple things. So positive thoughts, negative thoughts, it doesn't matter. The world that we live in, everything is frequency vibration, right? So the way to think of this is that a negative thought is one frequency. I put here 3 hertz, and a positive thought is 5 hertz, different frequency. To the world that we live in, the dynamic that we live in, where we're just infinite possibility, reincarnating moment to moment to moment, we're just reincarnating a new frequency moment to moment to moment. You can change your frequency anytime, right? It's your choice. You have free will. So as you're reincarnating moment to moment to moment, you get to choose where you're going to put your energy, your focus, and your actions. Now, a couple things I want to mention. So number one is that these are just 2 different timelines. They're not bad or good. And in fact, let me give you a new model for the word bad. For most people, the word bad means that there's nothing wrong. And I want you to think of the word bad as you're not moving, taking action, progressing. Okay, so it's a totally different definition. It's not about there's nothing wrong. Could be things wrong all the time. Are you evolving? Are you progressing? Are you growing? If you're not, that's bad. Okay, so if you want to get divine intelligence, the creator's version of what is bad is when you're not progressing, evolving, moving. In other words, thoughts, feelings, emotions, actions. You're not evolving, moving, taking action. That's bad. We're not here to acquiesce and just sit and not do anything. We're here to evolve, to grow, to express. So instead of thinking of like there's something wrong and now things are bad, think of it this way. If you're not evolving, that's bad. Okay? So I just wanted to side way. Let's get back on what this video is about today. So negative thoughts, positive thoughts and feelings are just 2 different timelines, 2 different frequencies. It doesn't matter. I had someone who asked me this like a month ago. They said, can you make someone murder someone else with the law of attraction or intention? I guess you could, but just remember that your intentions, your thoughts are affecting other people, regardless if they're positive or negative. But that person still has free will. They still get free will to choose. Okay? And the other thing is that, and this is a really important part, is that let's look at the negative thoughts. Negative thoughts have a certain intensity of frequency. Okay? There is a certain magnitude of energy with a thought. The magnitude for feelings is even greater, because usually it's thoughts you thought over and over again that lead to feelings, right? So that's magnitude. That magnitude of energy there is even greater. And then actions is even greater. Okay? So think of this as an escalating, amplifying energy spectrum. And every time you think a thought over and over again, and then you have a feeling, you give it more energy. And then if you take action, you give it more energy. And then reinforcing that frequency, right? Positive is the same thing. There's no difference. These are just 2 different timelines. You have timeline 2 and timeline 1. You have to choose which one you want to be on. What some of you are doing is you're thinking negative thoughts about certain people in your life, but expecting to be on this timeline. Okay, and I'm going to give you my example because this is something was very eye-opening for me. So I'm doing positive, positive feelings, positive actions around my business, but sometimes I would get things that would go wrong, and I would get these negative reactions, and then because of that, that would put me in a state of fear, and then I would attract clients that are fearful, and they just do irrational things, and so not getting steady, focused, grounded clients. So what I started doing, and I want you, if you have a business or even if you are looking for a better job, this is brilliant, because if you get this, then you will take it with you to the end of your life and maybe even to the next one. Is that what I started doing is I started to focus in on what are my clients when they're getting results, when they're getting clients from our work, okay? When they're getting clients from the work that they do with us and making money, which gives them a return on the investment they're making with us, I feel grateful for the clients they're getting and the money that they're making. And I started doing that, I don't know, a month, 6 weeks ago, and I'm being flooded with new clients. Now, I don't focus on money at all. This is what's really interesting about this. I don't focus on money at all, and more money keeps coming towards me. What I'm focused on is the human element of my clients getting a result, getting clients, and feeling rewarded for them getting clients and getting success from the work that they do with the marketing that we do on their behalf. And because I'm focused on being grateful for my clients getting these results, guess what happens? I get more people that are searching for that, which is more clients. And I don't focus on money at all. I focus on what would be, what would it feel like in my meditation? I go into this state where I feel like, so again, remember the thoughts and feelings. And even during the day, I'll daydream, which is easy to do, especially if you work from home. You can take half an hour and just daydream. And I'd focus on thoughts and feelings of what it's like and contemplate, just really contemplate what it would feel like if my clients were getting these amazing results, even though they're not yet or they haven't yet. And I've been doing this since the beginning, but what I've noticed is because I've been doing this for probably like 6 months or so, the last month or so is that these thoughts and feelings have almost become automatic, intensifying the energy of the frequency in this timeline. And then I take actions which align with these two. I'm fully aligned, and I get more people asking to work with us. And I haven't been doing that much marketing, which is the craziest part. I'm attracting them, right? So the reason I share that is that what I was doing before was I was thinking and being deliberate in my meditations, but like I said, I was feeling like as if my clients were getting results. But then something during the day would happen, which would bump me back, and I'd get a reaction, and that would put me back on the old timeline. And so I was in between timelines, in between. I'm kind of like, I'm starting my morning here, and then something happens during the day, then I go over here, and then later in the day I get fearful, right? And then I'm in the old timeline. And then what I've done, like this is, like I said, the last 6 weeks or so, I've been staying here. So instead of reacting, I would just be like, oh, it's just something I need to take action on. And then going back to thinking and feeling, oh, what would it be like if I had amazing, and just being in a state of peace about it. Right? So if you remember, I have a video that talks about there's kind of 3 states that you're always in. You're either in a negative state, neutral, or positive. You're negative, neutral, or positive. If you're in a negative state, the best thing you can do is get into a neutral state where you're at peace, but you don't feel like super happy or super, excited or enthusiastic about anything, but you don't feel worry or fear either. You're in the middle. You feel neutral. And once you're in neutrality, then you can go and feel grateful for the things that you want to create in this timeline. But the thing is that my feelings and actions and my thoughts, for the most part, were aligned with this timeline until recently. I stopped doing these reactions during the day and turn it like right in that moment so that I was all aligned here, and then this energy aligns with the new timeline. And let me just mention something about thoughts, feelings, and actions, and that's that the amount of energy carried by a wave, remember, everything's frequency, right? Everything's frequency vibration. So the amount of energy carried by a wave, which your thought is a wave, your feelings are waves, and your actions taken are a wave, is related to the amplitude of the wave. So the higher the amplitude, your actions, the greater the energy. And that's why these arrows are longer, right? So this is a smaller amount of energy, this is a greater amount of energy, and this is the greatest amount of energy. Now, let me just mention this as well, because there is a lot of stuff I'm seeing on social media in these QAnon, and Telegram posts about trust the plan, And here's what I call bullshit on, is that, you know what trust the plan does, in my opinion? Again, everything's my opinion. Doesn't mean that I'm right. It just means it's my opinion. My opinion is that you can have feelings and thoughts about creating Earth 2.0, about creating a new world and creating a new timeline for yourself. But if you just trust the plan and you are no point inspired to take actions, then the amount of energy that you're, if you were to take an action to crystallize and materialize that future as a fact in the new timeline, if that's not happening, it's not going to manifest. So each of one of these builds on each other. At some point, you're going to be inspired to take an action. And if you just trust the plan and you're not doing anything, I can tell you right now, it's not going to materialize. And that, for a lot of you, might be just the issue. You've been doing these two things, but then when it comes to this, you're not doing anything. And this carries the most amplitude of energy for the frequency that you're trying to materialize in the new timeline, okay? And the opposite is also true, right? You can have negative thoughts, you can have negative feelings, but if you don't take actions that are in alignment with these negative thoughts and feelings, then it's not going to materialize, okay? So it's the same thing, but these are two different timelines. And what I'm saying is that you want to pick one, ideally the one that empowers you, which I'm hoping is this one that comes from the heart, and you're going to align your thoughts, feelings, and actions with that new intention, okay? Now, the reason I brought up my example about clients is because the power of our positive and negative thoughts on others. This is not just about us, because this soup of possibility that we're all a part of is all connected, which means if you have thoughts, feelings, and you take actions related to others, in this case, for me, it was my business, and all those alignment of actions are an appreciation. Even in the action, I'm feeling grateful to be able to do this work for these clients. I'm feeling grateful, and then I have thoughts of gratitude about the clients that they are getting from the work that we do. Because I'm having those thoughts about others, I'm attracting more people that are looking for that. But the opposite's also true. If you're having thoughts and feelings about others that is negative, and you keep impressing those thoughts and feelings and maybe even act on it, well, then you're going to materialize something that's going to put you in this timeline. And one thing I will mention is that if you are having bad intentions or sending negative thoughts to someone, the other person still has free will to choose, because we all do. But to keep sending that negative vibration, you have to maintain that negative vibration. So you have to maintain anger for that person, right? And if you were to ask me why you have anger for someone else, it's because you've been hurt and you've put up a shield to protect yourself, and your heart's blocked. Because if you were coming from the heart, that anger would go away. At first, you'd be in denial and be like, well, I don't really like that person. I hate them, actually. But then that denial would go away, and then you'd come to a point, instead of being angry, you'd be in acceptance, and then you're back in the heart. But if you're still stuck in that anger, that position of anger, well, then you've got to maintain that in order to keep projecting that negative intention to that person. And if you want to do that, that's fine. But I've never felt amazing by feeling anger for long periods of time. If anything, I would take that anger and completely, and I'll give you an example. So in the beginning of this quote unquote, what we're in right now, this world 1.0 that we're leaving and going into world 2.0, Earth 2.0, I was really frustrated that so many people were not getting it, right? They weren't looking at the real scientific data, following the money to see what was actually happening behind the scenes. And if you haven't, that's fine. I'm not judging you. But for me, myself, knowing what I knew, and I was like, wow, I'm like, what can I do? And I started to get angry and a little bit frustrated because I'm like, what can I do? I take that feeling and I project it into a positive action. All of a sudden, my thoughts, feelings, and actions are aligned with that new intention. So sometimes when I get anger, it's not about just kind of breathing and getting the heart, although it is sometimes. Other times, I'm just like, I need to take it and invest energy in a positive action. And then when I started doing that, this all started to align to create the new timeline. Okay. And the thing is that, like I said, with the money again, it's a tricky thing because you think that by thinking about appreciating having money, you will get money. But if you can just focus on what your service, for example, or what your job and how it benefits others and feeling appreciation for the benefit you are providing to others, I'm telling you that if you just do that, it will magnificently change your career and your business because you're going to get more people that want that type of service and benefit from you. Okay. So to the people that are saying trust the plan, I'm going to say, yeah, I don't agree with you at all. And if you are watching this, that's fine. But I'm about taking action and trusting the plan. I trust that I will do the right thing, but to trust the plan, someone else's plan, this isn't about other people's creating a plan that you're just going to sit behind and trust. This is about aligning a community of people behind a revolution that is going to change the way this world looks over the next few years and even longer. Okay. So I hope you found that useful and helpful. And one thing I will mention again, which I mentioned at the very beginning, if you're having negative thoughts about someone expecting a positive result, you are delusional. You cannot expect in this planet, in this energy where we are today, living here, I can tell you with certainty that if you expect something positive by thinking something negative about someone, you are not going to get what you want. I'll give you an example. If you're expecting a raise, but you just despise the person that's going to give you the raise, you better find a way to send love to that person. Send them love and send them thoughts of love, right? Thoughts of love and feelings of love. And then keep your actions aligned with that and then see what happens. See what happens. Let them change on their own. You don't have to go and manipulate and change them. They'll change on your own. And here, if you remember from one of my previous videos, when you send someone love, for example, we're talking about, you're expecting a raise for someone, but you despise your boss. If you send them love, one of two things is going to happen. They're going to disappear from your life. They'll go get another job. They'll get a promotion. They'll leave your department, or you'll end up leaving. Or they'll actually come back to you. They'll be able to handle it because some people cannot handle the love. And that's why they're not in the heart. They can't handle the truth right now. They can't handle the love. And because of that, they would rather be in denial. Okay? So they disappear from your frequency vibration because they can't handle the heart. They can't handle being in the heart. For some people, they can, right? And for your pets and animals, they can handle it. And if they can handle it, they're going to stay in your vibration. They're going to stay in your timeline. And they're going to be a part of your physical manifestation. Okay? I have a new book coming out next year called The 7-Day Manifestation Experiment, How You Create Your World. If you want to get on the waiting list for that, link down below. You can opt in to be on the waiting list for the book. And I am going to send you one video a week with my quantum manifestation video training for free if you decide to get on the waiting list. Thanks for watching. My name's Steve, and we'll talk to you next time.